I'm Nadia.
I'm Diane.
And we're here at the Gothic Farmstead. So we're overwintering our birds in the greenhouse, and it's been going really well. And we decided to take this time to chat a little bit about why we decided to become farmers. With zero farming background, with no familial relationships to farming, nothing. So for me, I've always loved the farmer's market. It's always been my happy place. I've always loved work exchange programs, woofing. I've always just been really fascinated with learning how to grow your own food, becoming more self-sustainable, relying more on yourself rather than the grocery store.
Yeah.
And I've always been fascinated with the process of how to grow your own food. And I just loved that very personal aspect of the farmer's market, like talking to the people who grew my food, right? It's always been something that was like in my periphery that but I never really put two and two together. I never thought that I would farm. I always thought I would maybe work for farmers. I don't know. And then I met Diane.
I didn't always want to farm, that was like a dream later in life for sure. I think it's kind of been on my mind, and just more and more as the years went on until we finally did it. I love animals, and I don't love eating them. I just love them. So I wanted to have birds for the eggs and, sheep for the milk and stuff like that. But it's just such a big dream, it feels like, especially when you're alone or, doing it on your own. It never really felt achievable until we started our relationship, and like our teamwork and getting it done.
When we met, that's when the puzzle pieces all kind of came together to create the vision of the farm. So it's like, okay, this is something we can do and we should do and we will do. We have some friends who live on a farm, and we were just talking to them about our dream, and they suggested we hit up their realtor, and he ended up being the most wonderful person, very familiar with houses and working with first-time home buyers. Shout out to John. Love you from Welcome Home Productions, best place in the world. They will make all your house dreams. Our home buyers experience was actually pretty chill.
We got really lucky.
We looked at 3 properties, and this was the 3rd place that we looked at, and we're like, this is it. We've got. I'm so scared. I do want to back it up and say that we took a small farm business class before we started looking for farms to get a visualization and a business plan for basically what we wanted to do. We took it through U of M Extension, and that was such a helpful class in terms of helping us to create the business plan.
It really helped us visualize, like you said, but to really put into perspective what our abilities are and what we need to do, what we need to learn, where we need to save money, the things that we are going to have to buy that we just didn't think about, like a lawnmower.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like farm equipment, but it's very important to have.
Right.
So,
because grass grows really fast, especially pasture.
Yeah.
So we took the class, and then 2 months later, we were introduced to John, our realtor, and then we looked at 3 spots, and this ended up being the perfect spot. It was one of those things where after everything we learned from the class, we knew what we wanted. We knew how many acres we wanted. We knew what kind of land we wanted to deal with, because we knew soil. We want to garden. We want to grow produce. So we knew that good, healthy soil was paramount.
Yeah.
And we knew we needed either a barn or some outbuildings. So, and because we're first-time home buyers, we needed a house that wasn't falling apart. We're not trying to flip a house. We're not. They're so loud right now. So we had our wish list, and we knew how far away we wanted to be from the cities. We didn't want to be longer than an hour from the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
That was very important because we didn't want to have to drive The whole thing felt very serendipitous. It felt very much like this was supposed to happen. So, yeah.
Yeah, there were very few obstacles for us in the process, so it almost felt unfair. You know, we have a lot of friends who really struggled with their first home purchase and trying to find a place and getting outbid, and I mean, like, the market was so outrageous.
Volatile.
So because I think we looked in the winter also, and we put in an offer in the winter, that really helped. No one wants to buy a farm in the winter, and no one really wants to sell one in the winter either, I don't think.
Yeah.
So we got pretty lucky, and
Yeah.
I can't look past that. I know how absolutely lucky we were in this whole process, but it's not because we didn't work for it either. You know, like,
we did our homework and we got lucky. It was like a lot of everything. We had all our ducks in a row in order for things to work out.
Yeah.
Pun intended. So living on a farm, I honestly didn't think it was going to be such a natural transition. I thought it was going to be kind of like culture shock. I thought we'd be going through that. Oh my god.
She's just yelling. She's so loud. Morticia. Shush. One thing that we did not think about before all of this was that there's nothing more freeing than accepting defeat when you need to accept defeat. So we thought we wanted goats, and we got goats, and we realized very quickly we didn't want goats, but we tried to stick it out.
We did everything we could.
Everything we thought we could do. It was months of having these goats that we just resented almost immediately. They're really just shits, man.
Goats are really, really difficult, and they're not for everyone because they are troublemakers, and you just have to be ready for it.
Yeah. So lost money, but at the end of the day, we regained our freedom from this huge pain in the ass that we were dealing with,
and we learned a very valuable lesson. We learned that we don't want goats, and it was actually a thing that we thought we wanted.
We cut our losses, and it was the best choice.
The thing that I've really learned since we started farming is that you're going to fail. You're going to fail, and you've got to be okay with that. And that's with starting anything new, but like especially with farming.
Yeah, you can do everything right, and the season can be crap.
Yeah,
and you can still fail.
Every failure is just a lesson, and you're gonna do things better the next time. If you get yourself a fence and it's not the right fence, you're gonna work harder to make a different fence. Whatever it is, it's just, and you gotta just do things your own way. You can look up videos all day on YouTube, do your research, but until you do it yourself, they're talking to. Until you do it yourself, though, you're not gonna really learn. And so that's another thing that we've been like learning. It's important to learn as you go. As well, there's been so many like days where we feel like defeated or failures. It has also been the most rewarding. It's been the most rewarding and most valuable thing I've personally ever done in my life, and I've never been happier. Like truly, I've never been happy. Last summer, that was our first summer on the farm. It was a lot of trial and error, learning through growing and
experimenting.
A lot of experimenting, seeing what our soil did. We got soil tests, and we were very impressed and lucky for the soil that we have. It's very good soil.
We have pastured land that was only used for pasture. It's never been harvested on that anyone is aware of, unless maybe someone grew hay or something, but
maybe
it's never been tilled. It's never been monocropped.
Really excited for next summer. We're gonna take all the lessons that we've learned and apply it and really try to get our farm business off the ground. And we're going to share the journey as we learn and as we grow with you guys. So as we learn and as we grow, we'll make sure to share everything with you guys, because we know it's like, it ain't easy and nothing's perfect. And I think it's important to show that. He is so vicious. Thank you all for being here. We're complete noobs at this, but we're really excited and passionate, and we hope we can teach you something as we learn on the way.
Yeah, thank you for being on the journey with us and following along, because we're all learning together.
Yeah.
We have no idea what we're doing.
And that's
we'll
okay.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
No one knows what they're doing when they start.
No.